Welcome back to the channel for another exciting episode on What's Good Garage. And I'll tell you what's good in the garage today. The gen is good today. I'm good today. Everything's going good because we got the part we've been waiting a whole month for. I ordered everything for the fuel system at the exact same time. And guess what? Everything showed up about almost a month ago. And here we are, start of April's coming up, and this thing just showed up. It's been holding me back this whole time. So today, we're gonna get everything done that we were hoping to get done before and more. I'm gonna chain myself in here, lock everything, so I can't leave barbed wire, chains. I'm getting this done today. I won't let myself leave until it's done today. We're going to take our measurement from the bottom of the fuel tank to the top of the fuel tank, which was 7.75 inches, if I am correct, which I believe I am. And we're going to take that over to the bench and measure it against the fuel assembly system that we've been working on this whole time. And we're gonna size it up, hook the two pieces together, the top piece and the bottom piece, and we're gonna hook them up to 7.75 inches in total. And because that is the position it's gonna stay in, there's not gonna be any give once the lines are all hooked up. Next, we're gonna take that silly fitting that took over a month to get here, that's been making us wait this whole time, and we're gonna take it, okay? We're gonna put a washer on it, and then we're just gonna jam it in there. No respect. Screw that thing because it came late. I know it's not its fault, but we gotta take our anger out on something. So we're gonna jam it in there, put the other fitting underneath, slap it real hard, and then twist that nut on with an impact. Except maybe not the impact part because that wouldn't be great. So don't listen to that part. All right, next step here, we will not be able to film unfortunately, but pretty much we're just gonna take all these tubes and hook them up how they should be hooked up. So I will flash into the future and show you how it looks like. As you can see, looking around at the fuel assembly here, it is complete. So there is the soldered wires that I soldered up. Those are looking really fresh. There is the fuel supply from the pump, which is looking good. There is the fuel siphon that's going to hook up to our other side of our gas tank. And then there is the fuel return, which is going to obviously return fuel to the tank. So everything's looking crisp, and we're gonna chuck this in the car, ladies and gents. Let's head it, let's hit it, Let's go. We're about to drop this in the tank. I cannot stress this enough. Be very careful with the fuel sending unit float because it is flopping around, it is delicate, it is damageable. So be careful with that. It deserves a little bit of loving, so just be gentle. And then put it in there. We're gonna secure all the bolts, the 8 or whatever there is, bop, 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 skibby doop, and done, finish. That's all good in the hood. Now, ladies and gents, next up, we jack the car up with a jack. We slide jack stands under it, and we make our way to the next process, which is running the fuel lines. How to AN fitting. This will be interesting. So basically, you take the fitting, to clean up the end, tape it, cut it with something sharp, and then unwrap the tape, take the nut, push the nut, push that over top of the line, and then it's handy to put in a vise. So as you can see here, I'm going to put it in the vise here. I'm going to grab the other part of the fitting, in this case at 45 degree, and thread it in there super good from the top. And I can mention you want to secure the bottom of the line with your hand so it doesn't accidentally get pushed out by the fitting while you're installing it. And also as you get to the final torque, it could start to twist the line, which you don't want, so secure it with your hand at the same time. Handy tip. We're going to fish the supply line up into the fuel tank area where we just secured it, and we're going to torque it super tight up onto our fittings, our supply fitting from the fuel tank. Torque it up real good, and then that is done. That is that. We're happy boys. We're going to take the line and start threading it like a snake over towards the engine bay. As you can see here, I'm about to make up another fitting, except this one's going to be without a vise in the engine bay or under the car, because you can't always use a vise. So I find it handy to take a crescent wrench and pretty much you slip that nut on, you hold a crescent wrench on the nut, and then hold that with your hand while you hold the fuel line. And then with your other hand, you want to torque the fitting into the nut, and just so the line doesn't slip out like I mentioned previously. We'll chuck the fuel filter in place with those fittings underneath the car, hang it up, and that will be beautiful, beautiful, happy, everybody's happy. We are going to move on to the fuel regulator mounting from here. So I found a nice little place beside the clutch brake reservoir where I'm going to mount it with self-tappers temporarily for now, but in the future we're going to bolt it up properly, real tight, permanently for good. Self-tappers just for now. for now. We'll see about that one. Basically do the same thing with the return line. So we're going to fish that up into the fuel pump assembly unit area. We're going to thread that on and we're going to torque it real nice. This is very important. You're going to want 2 wrenches, 1 wrench securing the lower part of the fitting, and then 1 wrench doing the torquing so you don't accidentally damage anything, which would be bad, very, very bad. Once that's complete, we're going to take the line and we're going to thread it all the way over to the engine bay. And once it makes its way up there, we're going to flare the end, or not flare it, but we're going to get the fitting hooked up and jam it onto our regulator. And once that's done, complete. I quickly made up a short little chunk of line right here to go from the regulator over to the injector fuel rail, and slap that on, connect all the lines to the fuel regulator as you can see here, and done, complete, finish it. So this is the beautiful end result. Maybe that is a little more give would be nice. But yeah, there's the fuel supply that comes up into the regulator. If there's any excess fuel, it's going to regulate the pressure down and return it to the tank. And all the pressure that we do need is going to come through this line and into the thirsty engine and feed our soon-to-be injectors that are not here yet. Once again, thanks for tagging along, keeping me company, and watching the channel. So, peace out. Thanks again, brothers.